Argentina's journey to indigenous armored weaponry production started off very difficult. Before World War II, there was almost no decent tank industry. During the war, Argentina began to imitate the design of the M4 and manufactured the DL-43 American Tiger medium tank. However, this tank was far from the standard M4 and only a small quantity was produced. After World War II, Argentina's international situation eased, and some weapons embargoes were lifted, allowing Argentina to finally purchase some more reliable armored weapons internationally. Among these, the United Kingdom sold over 200 tanks to Argentina. In fact, the batch of tanks sold by the United Kingdom was not complete because they did not have turrets. The reason for this may have been related to weapons embargoes, as having over 200 tanks in the South American region at that time would definitely be considered weapons of mass destruction. Among these 200 tank chassis, many were the decommissioned chassis of the British Crusader cruiser tanks from World War II. Argentina did not waste these tank chassis. In the early 1950s, several Argentine military officials believed that they could use the existing armor plates and cannons to assemble some self-propelled guns based on the Crusader chassis. After initial experiments, mass modifications began in the mid to late 1950s. Due to the size, carrying capacity, and technological level of Argentina, these modifications were actually quite simple. The tank chassis remained basically unchanged, with a huge enclosed fighting compartment welded to the front and middle of the vehicle using armor plates, and a suitable cannon was installed on the front. The steel armor of the fighting compartment was 40 mm thick, and the overall size was relatively large, resembling the style of future French self-propelled guns. The improved Crusader self-propelled guns had three weapon configurations. One was the Krupp 1909 75 mm field gun, which was purchased decades ago and could continue to be used as a self-propelled gun. The second was the Schneider M1928 105 mm howitzer, which was relatively more advanced and suitable for support tasks. The third was the Bofors 75 mm cannon, of which Argentina had purchased 224, but there was controversy over whether the third type was actually put into production. These Argentine, indigenous, Crusader self-propelled guns had a simple structure, similar to the temporary modifications during World War II. It is unclear about the firing angles and ammunition capacity of the cannons. The field gun version of the Krupp gun used a standard 5-person crew, including the commander, driver, gunner, loader, and radio operator, while the 105 mm howitzer version might have added a loader. Although it is unclear how many of the third version were produced, possibly only experimental vehicles, a total of 12 vehicles of the first two versions were produced, with 12 of each. In the late 1950s, these self-propelled guns participated in several Argentine military parades and were widely used in military training, but there is no definitive record of their combat use. After being retired, all of them were scrapped and dismantled, with none preserved. Compared to the international advanced level at that time, these modified Argentine self-propelled guns were undoubtedly the most rudimentary equipment. However, given Argentina's environment and its own technological level at that time, these modified weapons were barely sufficient and met their own technological standards. The finished products could be used for military training and fully utilized the old-fashioned cannons available at the time.